AI and quantum computing.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. And it's a pleasure to be here, and especially with a leader like Puneet, who has been doing a lot of innovation in this space. Looking forward to this conversation.
Perfect. The AI hype is right now, but I can tell you with all my passion that the next few years will belong to the quantum age. The computing that was designed, or what we call classical computing today, is being redesigned for the next stage. So interesting talk and looking forward to it.
Yeah, likewise, and I can't be more passionate about something like this. There's a philosophy that I strongly believe in, and I've spoken about it at large. I've written on that. I see a new world being formed as we speak. With the convergence of these emerging technologies like quantum computing, AI, blockchain, IoT, all of this coming together, the way industries and user experience at large is going to make a substantial shift, a paradigm shift in the way we operate, in the way we expect what is the normal. That's going to be much faster and much different than anything that humanity has ever experienced before. And I think we are fortunate to be living in this age where we get to experience this firsthand, and more importantly, be a part of creating the building blocks of this new world. And this is going to be the future that we are getting the opportunity to be a part of. So really looking forward to diving deeper into the aspects of this new world as it unfolds. And having said that, Puneet, if I can kickstart this conversation with a question to set the foundation and set the basic principles for the audience here. What is quantum computing, and how is it different from the classical computing that exists today?
So quantum computing is designed to work on the principles of quantum mechanics. With classical computing, we had bits, zeros and ones. Now we could turn it on or turn it off. These were switches. And let's say I want to go from here to there, and I need all switches to be on to go there. Now the very definition of how computing works is going to get transformed with quantum computing in play. And here there are zeros and ones, but it's not binary. So the state of a bit or the qubit could be anything. It could be a mathematical probability of it being 1 or 0. And this particular phenomenon kind of opens up huge opportunities for the way we redefine computing. And if I look back 20 years, when internet was just starting out, we could not have imagined that someday, using this communication protocol, we would be ordering food and getting it delivered in 5 minutes. Similarly, we are at the stage where we are defining the constructs of the next generation of computing, quantum computing. And again, it is ground zero. And I can confidently say the use cases that we will be talking, for the world of quantum are unimaginable, and we would not be able to think about the use cases even in our wildest dreams. So this is a field which is, open for dreamers, open for creatives, because we are writing the rules of the next generation of computing.
Yeah, and that's fantastically said. And the power that quantum computers can put together is phenomenal. The computational power that comes with it, and you rightly touched upon the bits versus qubits that allows this kind of strength, shows promising prospects for industries like healthcare, for finance, for automotive, and much more. And with that also comes the definition of security being redefined. And being a firm believer of the possibilities that quantum computing puts forward, I also pay a similar amount of attention to the kind of complications it can bring and the threats it can create to the security, the digital security that exists today. Now, when I say that with a lot of optimism, because for the world to evolve, for the technological advancements to happen, it can never happen just one way. It can never be, in isolation that they're only gonna be the good part of anything. With that comes some negatives as well. And for me, the negatives of quantum computing is because of the massive computational power it has. It can challenge the security algorithms that exist today, the entire foundation of data security in the online world that exists today. Quantum computing can challenge that, and I would love to speak on that in a little bit more detail. But at the same time, this particular problem allows the industry to innovate much more in the cybersecurity domain. And that's where the advancement and that's where the next generation will see a tactical shift in the delta of improvement in the digital solutions that we create.
The reason we are talking about quantum computing today and not 5 years from now when quantum computers are available for us to consume at the consumer level, and what has got enterprises excited about the quantum opportunity today, because it is disrupting the very foundations of what we have defined as a classical computing ecosystem. As Kapil rightly said, the encryption algorithms are challenged today with Shor's and Grover's algorithm. And what you thought was safe would require, let's say, 1 million years to break your password with brute force. With a quantum computer, that could be achieved in a matter of minutes. And now that poses a biggest threat to the conventional digital ecosystem that we live in. What's keeping the CXOs busy today? They're imagining, what if a quantum computer is able to break through everything? All banking, financial transactions get disrupted. So, do you want to talk about what is SNDL and why is this SNDL term getting more popular and catching the attention of everybody?
Oh, yes. So, before I speak about SNDL, let me kind of spend maybe 60 seconds in breaking down why quantum computers can actually break these security algorithms using Shor's algorithm and Grover's algorithm. Very simply put in layman language, right? If I ask you a question, what is 10 multiplied by 10, you'll answer in a second. If I ask you what is 25 multiplied by 35, you'll think a little, but then you'll be able to answer. Then if I ask you what is 1, 2, 3, 5 multiplied by 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, you'll process a lot and maybe you'll need some more assistance to answer. And then if I ask you a more complicated question, you'll say, nope, I can't give that answer. This is exactly how the processing power of computers also operate. The easier the question to them, the faster they are able to answer. The more complicated the question or the more complicated the computation that they need to do, they start buffering or they are not able to deliver. The security algorithms that we have today, like elliptic curve and RSA, which is used in the digital transmission of data as well as data security and data storage, they use higher computational problems that cannot be solved by classical computers because they do not have the processing power to break them. That's where quantum computers come into picture. Because they run on qubits and they can process much more computational power, they can actually solve these in a matter of seconds. And hence the threat of breaking these security algorithms and getting access to the data. Now, what is SNDL? Having said that, SNDL is save now, decrypt later. Why does it matter for the enterprises and why is it actually an alarming signal for the world today? Is quantum computers are advancing. They are not absolutely at a stage today where they can just enter into and break the encryption. But some individuals with false intentions, they can save your data now waiting for the quantum computers to become strong enough when they have access to that and they can use that access to decrypt the data that they have stored today. So imagine your banking data, your online data, data that you are saving. Somebody somewhere is storing it. They can't decrypt it. They can't get access to it. But later on, maybe next year for that matter, because there are some security agencies that are predicting that Q day, which is a term given to the day on which quantum computers will actually break security algorithms. By the way, it is already happening, but maybe getting that information public is near. So on that day, these individuals get access to this computational power and break the data. And hence, large enterprises have already started taking precautions where they are implementing post-quantum cryptography measures and implementing security algorithms to create a firewall which even quantum computers can't break today.
Yeah, and enterprises are getting ready today. So if you are an iPhone user, Apple is upgrading the iMessage to have quantum resistant algorithms. So your encryption is quantum resistant and your messages are safe. Similarly, Google Chrome with its newer version update, it's getting upgraded with the quantum resistant algorithms. So Kapil, can you tell us what's the new tech infrastructure going to look like in the quantum world? What should we be prepared for? And what are some of the things that would cause more disruption? And as a lever of upgrade from classical computing to quantum computing, I know it cannot be a incremental upgrade because it's the rapid nature of how it will disrupt classical computing. So what are some of the things that we should keep in mind, and what's the infra going to look like?
So I'll break it down into baskets, or rather steps for that matter. The number one is most important piece is like dialogues like this, which spreads awareness and creates an alarming bell in the enterprises who are not yet paying attention that how risky the situation can be. Large-scale enterprises are already paying attention, like you rightly mentioned. Apple has quantum secured its iMessages. There would be a reason behind that, right? Why is Google moving in that direction? JP Morgan back in 2022 announced a requirement of a quantum secure blockchain. There must be a reason for that. The US government in 22 or 23 passed a bill mandating the sensitive government departments to move to post-quantum secure, security algorithms. All these things are happening and happening at scale at sensitive organizations and where sensitive high financial threats are being involved. So the first step in this direction, in this journey of preparing yourself for the new era, is getting education. And that is where a lot of consulting firms like PwC, like Accenture, and a few others are conducting feasibility studies for their enterprises to first of all judge, are you actually secure for the next decade? And then comes the implementation part after that, where you deploy post-quantum cryptography and post-quantum secure algorithms. Now, what is that exactly? The current algorithms that are being deployed that I spoke about, like elliptic curve and RSA, they are based on mathematical factorization or mathematical calculation that the classical computers can't solve. But quantum computers are designed to solve highly required computational powers and mathematical calculations. But there are a few things that even quantum computers can't break. Very simply put, I'm not going too technical for the audience here. Now, this is the post-quantum cryptography, having algorithms that quantum computers can't break. NIST, an organization in the US, has been working with the US government and a few other security agencies across the world since last 8 years to identify algorithms which are post-quantum secure, which can be used as the next standard by organizations, by enterprises, and even we are at a decentralized conference here, even in the blockchain industry, to use instead of the current algorithms that we are using. Now, that is the next step. That is going to drive the peace of mind in enterprises, and that's the next implementation step for the enterprises after they have judged whether they are secure and they do the implementation part.
Perfect. And just want to give a sneak peek under the hood of how is this magic being possible. There are two principles that I would want to talk about: superposition and entanglement. Superposition is when you are able to superimpose two qubits together, and that gives you the ability of running multiple calculations that were not possible in the classical computing world, and the power to achieve what is in our definition, going to take 10,000 years to 200 minutes, as probably Google demonstrated in 2019, if I'm not wrong. That happens because of the superposition principle. The next one is entanglement. Now, my ability to influence two qubits, which are far away from each other, and exhibit the similar characteristics, can help in ultra fast communication. Combining these two powerful, fundamental new age technology features, everything can get redefined. And today people are, understanding and identifying what would change. Can new drug discovery be available to us in a matter of seconds, rather than for us to wait for 2 years to discover new drugs for particular diseases? So the use cases are going to come up, which are unimaginable today. But how are infra companies today looking to give consumers some sense of security? How am I secure? How are my funds secure? How are my, is there a way for me to save my data? Or are clouds today safe?
That's a brilliant point. And I think I'll connect that to the context of this event today, which is around blockchain, right? Now, how do you create an infrastructure where you can have a complete trust that my data is secure, my funds are secure, and my transactions that I'm going to do are not going to be hacked? So we are living in a world where we are moving everything digital. Now with spaces like RWA and a lot of other trends which are coming in, you need a safe haven, even in the blockchain industry, where you can secure your data, your funds, you can conduct your transactions without the worry of it being hacked or it being broken. Now, the example that I took previously about the security algorithms which are being used to secure anything and everything that goes around are the similar ones that are used by the blockchains that exist today. So almost every existing blockchain use elliptic curve to secure your private keys, to using which you kind of store your cryptocurrencies, your NFTs, and now we are looking at a world where everything is going to be tokenized in the RWA space, which is looking to be a $40 billion industry, if I'm not wrong. Where are you going to store all those tokenized assets? In a decentralized wallet, right? If that wallet is using the same algorithm which quantum computers can break, what do we need? We need a new infrastructure, ground up, which is going to use post-quantum cryptography, post-quantum secure algorithms to define and to create this foundation on which the next decade can build. If this infrastructure exists now, no matter what you save on this, whether it is the data, whether it is your money, whether you conduct transactions, this is secure. So first of all, we need to enable this. We need to create something ground up, which we can confidently call that it cannot be hacked, it cannot be broken. But at the same time, I always take this example that only security does not enable efficiency. Technology is made by humans for the humans. So while being super secure, you have to create a very scalable infrastructure as well. If you are looking at billions and billions of transactions being processed, you have to create a scalable infrastructure. The infrastructures that we have today, the blockchains, without naming them, face a lot of redundancies, higher gas fees, and etc., etc., etc. We know the problems that exist today. That cannot stick. That I have seen in my experience is one of the most, red alarming factor for the enterprises to adopt. So hence, if we are talking about enterprises and large-scale adoption at large for the next decade to come, we have to ensure these two things. Create a new infrastructure ground up, which is quantum secure, and make it super scalable and really fast as well, that the people can be comfortable using and the enterprises can actually rely their transactions on them.
Yeah. So financial institutions who carry a large amount of transactions, who have a lot to safeguard, would be the early adopters in this quantum era? Or what are the other industries that you see would latch on to this opportunity or try to upgrade their stack first? What are some of the opportunities you're seeing?
So definitely, the financial services sector becomes the first one to jump on the bandwagon because the risk that is associated there is much more. Then we also see the healthcare industries coming in, and the other industries following up. So wherever the appetite for even 1% of loss does not exist, becomes like the first one to adopt to this technology, right? And the second is the industries and the institutions which are forward looking. There are so many conversations that I've had with my clients who are like, okay, we want to be future ready. And one thing that I always tell my clients is you don't hire a security guard after a theft has happened. You hire a security guard outside your house to prevent any theft from happening, right? And that is what quantum security and preparing yourself for the next decade means precisely.
Even the tech ecosystem that exists today, let's say take, storage companies or data centers, they will be the primary point of attack for malicious actors once they gain control of quantum computers. So they would need to transform their businesses to make sure that they're quantum resistant and quantum secure and are prepared for a world where there is no classical computing and people would want a secure mechanism to transact, to store, and to communicate.
Absolutely. And the way I would conclude is that we are entering a new age. This is a new earth which is being formed where these emerging technologies are not going to be just terms. It is going to become the new norm. And we need to be prepared to move into this new direction. And this is going to be the next evolution of humanity.
Yeah. And Kapil, just last question. If there were three things that you would want quantum computing to achieve that we could not in the classical computing world, what would those be?
Access to healthcare. Drug discovery is one of the things that quantum computing can address at a much larger level. And, as in the traditional world, we say health is wealth. So first of all, making the human society more healthy by getting access to the right set of medicines much faster. Second is, excuse me, the weather here. The second is, of course, the financial services sector. Sorry, bad timing. Second is, of course, the financial services sector. Third is the decentralized space, the blockchain industry.
Perfect. Sounds good. And if any of you have ideas or use cases that you think are going to disrupt and be possible in the quantum computing age, do send out your messages to us so that we receive those use cases and we can have conversations with you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Puneet.
Thanks, Kapil.